Welcome to the Core Collective. My name is Jeff Bullard. Today, we're joined by the newest member of 4 Points, Clay Wood.
Hey, folks.
Brandon Weber.
Hello, everyone.
Nik Madison.
Hello, everybody.
And Patrick Booth.
Heyo.
Today, we bring you an episode talking about the future competitive scene of Heroclix, what modern kind of looks like at the moment, what we kind of predict and kind of think will happen moving forward. So let's jump into it. Obviously, what do you think? Kong obviously is still viable, still competitive. Do you feel him at 200 right now is more viable than it was pre-rotation, right?
I think my answer to this would be that Kong is, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, he's like the poor man's meta modern age figure.
Oh, 100%.
He is your 200-point go-to part of your 300-point team where you're just like, hey, I want to get into this. I want to feel out the scene of whatever where I live, and it doesn't cost a lot to buy in. But players who have a little bit bigger bank accounts, or maybe that just get lucky and pull those higher end modern figures, I think will start to pull away from the 200-point Kong, and maybe send him more to the 50-point realm of he does cool stuff, and we'll see if he fits with the other cool stuff I have.
He's still a threat, like 100%.
100%.
I do think in this post rotations, I think it's easier to deal with a 200-point Kong though.
You can out action him. Yeah.
I think we have just more. We have more. It's starting to. I think we're getting more pieces that are expensive, like cost more than him.
Mm-hmm.
We have access to better trick arrows, like mechanics like Green Man get past stop clicks. So it's easier to be able to just one shot him, and not have to worry about it. Or not even one shot, but like just beat through his dial quicker.
For sure. Okay. What else stands out to you guys as some of the more stronger figures that are going to be your lead attackers?
Oof. So I think the first one I'm going to say is definitely, and attacker is a weird word that I'm going to use with this, but Butterfly. Because Butterfly is that Swiss Army knife. He could be your attacker because he gives you so many access points, or he can be your defender guy. So I kind of tricked him in there, but I feel like he could fit an attack slot because he gives you anything you need.
Well, if you're not using the butterflies and just moving them out and making them a constant threat, especially now that Surfer's gone, does anything heal from killing? Anything else?
Black
Lanterns, right?
Black Lanterns.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they creep into the meta.
Honestly, to me, it feels like the two that really stand out because of the Kong, because their ability to kill Kong effectively, is the next phase Man-Thing and the King Deadpool and Elsa. Because they come in at that 55 points with a lot of penetrating, a lot of attacks. I think they're the ones that really stand out to me.
Okay.
Colossus is still really good. I think Wong got better. Maybe it's worth talking about Wong. He's much more. I think he's much more viable now than he was before.
Brandon, you have some experience with Wong. What are your thoughts?
I think Wong's a great piece, and when I played Wong, it was the weekend that the erratas were announced. So the erratas weren't in place, but Wong was still very good against the Kongs with precision. But now that he's more points, he can just exploit through them. He's just gonna melt. He can melt 2 Kongs very easily, and just get them both to stop. Or if you're running, and then if you have any follow up with precision, they can both die very easily.
I think the thing that makes him that's made him so tough to play is he just falls off so fast.
He does.
You get him, you punch him once with penetrating damage, and he's like toast.
Yeah,
100%.
He falls off hard. That 10, 10 single attack with 16 toughness is very sad.
Every time I've played against the Wong, I'm just not concerned. I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of that. It's once you hit him off that 12 attack, But you can put a Chthon on him. You can put Amit on there, like, to make his stats a little bit better. But I think it's because he just has impervious and he's susceptible to penetrating.
Yep.
Yeah,
Is why
There's
I'm. Yeah.
a lot of penetrating out there.
But
but you could also say this: are our expectations too high now going into the new meta compared to the old meta?
I mean, it's fair.
He does have a pretty big swing, right? With you can get that movement up, TK out.
Yeah, he has full board reach with like a single TK because of the giant reach too,
Yeah.
and like some perplexes.
I think the interesting piece to compare him to is actually Phoenix Sentinel. And I know we talked a bit last time. Is like theme still viable? Is it necessary because of your desire to go first on small maps and that being so strong? But Phoenix Sentinel, same points, can can be team wrecking in a lot of cases.
True.
And still has very long range even without easy access to shield that was provided through Iron Inquisitor.
For sure. Like he still has full board reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Like if theme is a thing, Phoenix Sentinel is still very much a threat. And you have the bystander to give him mastermind, so he doesn't automatically necessarily die. What was it? Is it head pull or is it
Dog pull.
Dog pull. Thank you.
They don't even
Yeah.
need to have theme for it to, like, they just have to share a
Right.
keyword.
True.
And so a lot of the popular stuff, it's actually hard not to share a keyword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like,
Or TA,
Murray,
right?
Butterfly, it's like, I mean, boy, it's all over the place.
Mhm.
No, I like it. Should be
The-
solid.
The combo that I think is extremely potent, or the piece that I actually think that remarkably enough got better, is shoot, what's her name? Jennifer Kale.
Yes.
I mean, this sounds like such a ridiculous thing to say since she just won Worlds, and it's like, how can a piece that won Worlds just get better?
Yeah.
But man, like, the things that made her easy to deal with, the Porter Pulse Wave with knockback, the boot, like, those things are gone. Like, how do you deal with her now?
Yeah.
It's really hard.
I've been doing a lot of test playing with her. I think her and King Jefferson are a great combo.
Exactly.
It's
I don't
either
know how you
Kale
deal
or
with those two effectively and consistently. And that was exactly what I was going to say, Nick. You stole the words from me. Yeah, because like now you have a 19 defense for all your mystics.
Mhm.
Man, and then on top of that, like, King Jefferson shuts down super strength alphas, right? Which is Kong. So now, like, we've lost the constructs, the fire hydrant that got rid of the terrain markers. He shuts down super strength, and now all of a sudden barrier is interesting again.
Very.
Because if you can combo King Jefferson with the traffic barrel, and it's like, how can they get through now? Because you can't just have Colossus walk through it anymore.
Right.
So
It's basically Mern, right?
Yeah.
So
And
Range is Mern.
another thing that Kale provides, and I might be jumping the gun here, but I'm sure we'll talk about it. I know there's been a lot of hype around the figure Shadow. But like all the combat pumps you have to put into her to make her a threat, I feel like Kale just turns her back normal.
Yeah, I agree completely. Like, I know there's some of the other podcasts have been excited about her, and what's the 20-point legacy card that I'm blanking on?
You mean Two Gun Kid?
Two Gun Kid, yeah.
Mm.
But they're all like their usefulness is completely dependent upon all of their combat value bumps.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then, do you just make every game neutral with Kale? Everyone's playing their combat values.
Well,
I think so. I think the real question is, like, how do you deal with her? How do you consistently?
I think the answer to that is you must always have a 12 attack
Yeah.
Yep.
base character on your team.
Yeah.
Right. Another character that I was going to bring up that I think that's going to become meta very quickly is Supernova.
Yeah, so I've seen this piece.
Was it a rare?
He's an
Was it?
uncommon. He's an uncommon.
He's the Time Stealer one.
Yes, the one with
So-
extra roll, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What are you seeing that I'm not? Because I'm not
So,
convinced he's worth
It's okay. I'll
Wait.
explain.
winning map.
Sometimes
Play.
the important thing about Supernova is on certain teams where you can't make it a theme team, but you're trying to give yourself the best odds to going first, if that's really important to your team, you can put him on here and he gives you that extra +1 to going first for every person that's a time stealer. Now, we all know another time stealer that's highly likely to be played is Perdegaton. So him and Perdegaton for 70 points gives you a +2 for going first. You have TK, you have leadership, you have prob, you have a flyer that can destroy barrier with his running shots, right? You have another prob in Perdegaton. There's a lot going on here. Now, let's say, for example, you decide to make a pest team because you like his buddy Ultra Humanite, who's also a time stealer, who says all animals are also time stealers. So now, not only are you a theme team for +3, you also get a +1 for going first for every animal on your team, in addition to the time stealers, because all the animals got time stealers. So you can potentially get yourself up to a +7 to +8 going first over maybe that +3 for going first, which is being a normal theme team. So people are trying to make theme teams or just teams that'll increase the likelihood of going first. Now, remember, we are talking about predictions here. I don't know whether this is going to be good or not, but it's a thing that exists in the environment. The other thing that I did like about Supernova was the fact that he does have a unique probability. He says probability control. If once per turn, when you do use it, if the new result is higher than the previous result, he may immediately use prob again. So which the trick is, you choose a character that needs a high number to hit. So let's say 8s or 9s. And you go, I'm going to roll with my attacker who has a 12 attack. He needs to hit a 19. I need a 7 or better. I rolled a 4. Well, with him, on a 4, you should roll a 5 or better. But I'm shooting for 7s or better to hit. I missed again, right?
Yeah.
Higher, and I'm shooting for long shots. I get another prob. So you can use him strategically that way. So he does bring enough. Now, I do understand the point that people are making that 50 points is a lot for that. People aren't wrong, but he is creative enough that you're going to use him potentially in your meta ideas to help mitigate where the Scots are gone.
When I look at Supernova, I have to pair him with Ultra Humanite. I feel like if that's when what you're building, you have to play into the Ultra Humanite team where it's like
you go animals, right?
Yeah, animals +8, 10, whatever you can make it out of, because we have a ton of amazing animals in the environment right now. But what I'm seeing is that this team is more of a all gas, no break team where you don't care about defensive measures at all. Like if you go first, this team specifically should win.
Yeah.
Now, what that team looks like, I don't know. I haven't looked too deep into it, but there's a lot of animals to play around with.
It probably involves Kong.
Yeah.
I would assume so.
And the new Jurassic guys, several of them are animals, like Flash Raptor.
Flash Raptor is very good.
So a lot of good animals out there.
For sure.
Flash Raptor should get an errata. We'll see.
Well, what does he need errata?
You can you can TK one of your pieces to damage them if you have Despair on your team, and then he can just run through it and place it on the other side.
Well, you need another TK besides the Sparrow.
Correct, you do. But I don't know if they want that mechanic in the environment since they errated Black Cart. Because it doesn't just pertain to standard characters. I'm pretty sure it's like any character that took damage he can run through.
Correct.
It is a 70-point investment on the low end with him and Predagon.
Predagon.
But they're both time stealers, so that adds to your team.
Yes, but
And
like the
Despero
TK you can only TK single base characters. So what single base character are you
There's
TKing?
other ways, I guess, of
Damaging?
damaging, I'm sure. But like Chthon, a Chthon on a
Yeah.
character that has mystical, damage them, then Flash Raptor can run through it.
What does Flash Raptor say until like since your last turn? Because like they'd have to give them a power action to get the damage from the Chthon, and then they won't be able to be given an action after
Choose
they
a
got
friendly character that
placed.
Flash Raptor move through since your last turn.
That's like damage into your last
Place
turn.
them and Jason. Yeah.
I'm just throwing out ideas here.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's if Kong can take 2 actions, you can do this with Kong.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, for sure.
But
About Kong and then 200-point Kong maybe.
yeah, that's true.
You could.
And just nope, there's a Kong in your starting area.
And he's quaking twice.
It happens. Well, there was another change to Modern that I wanted to remind everyone of, that they did change how the pilot works. So before it said this character can't be healed or replaced, and it isn't scored when they're KO'd. Now it says is removed from the game without being scored if they would take damage. So is there any pilots besides Ghost Rider that's you think still viable?
I feel like this is mainly targeted towards Darkseid.
For sure.
I think people are completely overreacting on this change. I saw some other people saying this is future-proofing possible other broken pirates, and I agree with that. And like, from what I've thought of, the only pilot this really affects is Darkseid. Sure, there's like Spider Supreme. The Spider Supreme just got rotated to silver. So if we're talking strictly modern, I don't think there's any other piece that can
that
be
it
a
affects,
pilot
right?
that it like truly affects besides Darkseid. Like the pilot's still gonna function the exact same way. So I think people are really overreacting with this change.
So do any of the pilots become more viable now that other things have rotated out? Or do you think it's still the same stays
That's a
Ghost
good
Rider?
question. I mean, Ghost Rider is definitely still going to be prevalent.
It would be the Wolverine on the motorcycle because he could still do the Phoenix Wolverine as his
Pilot.
as his pilot.
There's also some Moon Knight ones too, right? Like Moon Knight can become 200-point Moon Knight. Because Moon Knight says when he would be, if he gets a token, like he said when he would be KO'd, you turn him to click 4, right? So that's a possible nerf to the pilot as well.
But I don't think that was their intended interaction anyway. So
I don't think so.
They steered the ship in the right direction.
Yeah, I agree that this is a change. I mean, with everything that was supposed to go on with Darkseid and Sleipnir, like this needed to happen.
Well, they were talking. People were talking about teams that were doing 6 to 8 unavoidable damage, like turn 1 without you even leaving your starting area. Like it was just a lot of shenanigans that was going to ensue.
He was able to like shoot the blocking terrain like a printed blocking, but didn't they change that in the immune section?
They did with the new rules update. So they just fixed a whole bunch of corrections. With the meta being so small, I don't know if there's going to be any other standout figures. Anything from the new iconics, you think? Or any of the iconics that are going to pop off? I know people are kind of talking about Wendigo and things. Or
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice seems good. With Time Makers especially.
The no free actions, right? Shuts a lot of stuff down.
Yeah.
What do we think about Assassins first rotation?
Well, I think Peacemaker is better because you can't it's harder to get a pulse wave off, like a Scott bomb. But you just pair it with the PJ Pog, and then that protects him.
Okay.
But Assassins, if they go the shadow route, it depends on their matchups. Because we just said if they face a Kale, their shadow become 10 and 2s or something, right?
I would imagine Kale's going to be in the environment for the next year until it rotates out again. Sure. So is there a way to do the assassin teams without all the bumps? Can you still just target
Shadow? What does she look like at 75?
It's like an 11 for 3 or something.
It's not great either.
No.
You probably have to still do the hit monkey trick.
Is there any assassins with a 12 attack, like a printed 12.
Hit monkey, I think
The Raj has one.
Wolvie on 100 point. That's too expensive.
Yeah, you're not playing that. Raj has one.
Patrick's right. If in order to combat this like Kale, Mern, defend 19, you have to have a printed 12, at least a printed 12 on your team.
Yeah.
Hit monkey and Deadpool. Hit monkey and Deadpool.
Deadpool and Hitmonkey.
Yeah.
12.
But then you still can't increase your damage. But you get 2 attacks if you put your target token on him.
Correct. So why not put your target token on Kale or Jefferson and just kill it?
Yeah.
He sees through people.
And Hinder.
And then you
But
put
what if you
a
run Barrier? Do you run Mern?
probably not a
Well,
bad choice.
That's the thing. Like Mern can't see Kale, so
Right.
He sees Jefferson though.
That's a good question.
I feel like no.
Ruler? No.
Politician maybe.
Pass?
No, I think that was Butterfly. That was a politician. No, Butterfly. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think they should one.
No.
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy to build a like anti-Mern team now.
Well, it just sounds like what you need now is someone that can just shoot and break a wall. That's it. Barrier all you want. I shoot and break your wall.
Right.
Fair.
And if you make it even better, make it a character that blows up a piece of brown when they shoot and blow up your wall, so you can blow up the wall behind the wall that you want to get rid of.
Do the assassins have enough reach to get multiple people
Like the
across the
TK
board?
and stuff. Like that's the issue.
They have
They
access
lost
to it.
I mean, just play a 25-point tiebreaker, Pog. You'll be fine.
I love your
It's
style.
One piece across, right?
So
What?
And then TK?
like I know the Timebreaker Pog took a big hit once they announced the errata for the Timebreakers. Do you feel with the porters going away, the Timebreakers get a little better?
I've been building them on every team.
Okay, I love it.
I don't know if that's just. I mean, I probably should stop that, but they are very, very useful in my opinion.
Your
This is
Timebreaker
good.
Pog has become the new black shirt Pog, black shirt for you.
Yeah, I mean, if you against that 19 defend, like you can break up a defend shell team with a timebreaker. I don't know. There's
Mhm.
in-game interactions that I think they're still useful.
Oh no, like carrying a Timebreaker over and saying, "Hey, you Gen 1," and say, "Hey, you move over." Like
Mm.
it's dirty. Dirty.
I want to talk about Black Lanterns really quick.
Let's do it.
What do you guys think?
They're close.
How you not
That
have Black
is-
Lantern keyword? That's
I
crazy.
mean, I
That's the
think it's
wrong
more of
piece. It's
monster,
Swamp
monster
Thing.
rather than just Black Lanterns, but yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
Jeff, it's Swamp Thing, by the way. Not
Oh,
Man
Swamp Thing. Yeah.
Thing.
There we go.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
you're losing black shirt support, and white shirt support, but you get support for free on Necron, right? Because of the god.
You get Tarwit on Necron. What I've been doing is playing Deadpool Elsa, King Deadpool and Elsa to give everybody peace objects, and then butterflying in Cosmo so the Black Lanterns can support each other for free. But it depends on the lanterns you run. I like potentially instead of Cosmo going Ace.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's interactions there. It's just how do you guys feel with Black Lanterns still with Mern in the environment?
I think that's exactly it. I think Mern is actually the problem for them. They would be much stronger if Mern didn't exist.
Does Mern though get around the Black Lantern Batman defense?
Yes.
Yes.
And that's why.
I just
It's
think
blocked.
if you're playing Lanterns, you have to treat it like you're winning the war of attrition on healing.
No matter how hard they hit you, you heal enough to.
I'm gonna outpace you because you
Can
can't kill my pieces.
how reasonable is it to kill a Swamp Thing in one turn in this environment?
Is Mern on the team?
Yeah, I guess that's dependent, right? Like, he doesn't reduce pen, It doesn't have any rollouts, so like if you can go through the imperv, right? Like I think Swamp Thing is like obviously annoying, but he's very killable.
Charge flurry.
Yeah, it's just his attack power that once you see that, you're just, oh my god, it's disgusting. Like opposing characters can't reduce.
Yeah, it's really good. And then he can port too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like if people are gonna start shifting over to Kale, then Black Lanterns become more relevant.
But how do you get that
Yeah.
grave marker inside their defenses?
I mean, yeah, like he can port a grave marker 4 squares. I don't think he needs line of fire.
He doesn't, but the problem is if you're within 4 squares of their defenses, then you're asking to be attacked.
Why do they become more relevant if Kale becomes a threat?
If people like transition from Mern to Kale,
Mm-hmm.
then you'll see a lack of Mern played, which might bring Black Lanterns back to the meta.
Yeah, because the Batmans will be, because the Batman's like block lines of
Batman's,
fire.
yeah,
and they have
Batman's
stuff.
Batman's
Yeah.
ability would become relevant at that point.
And
Yeah.
you just heal up to like crazy attack values too, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
You're probably not playing Superman.
Superman's the one that blows through the brown, baby.
So
I mean,
do
I'm
you have
sure
the
if you wanted to
120
go
does
super
Swamp Thing not
aggro,
do that
you have
either?
Swamp
Swamp
Thing
Thing not?
Superman.
Oh shit, he doesn't. I mean, you do have Quake, but
Yeah, the new attacker is definitely Swamp Thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think a foundation is Mern or Kale.
so do you play more monster based and also play your own Mern on this Black Lantern team?
You don't really shoot, so why do you like unless
Just so your values can't be modified?
maybe Swamp Thing has a 12, Necron gets to a 12.
Well,
like,
yeah, and then you
I
have 19s, right? And they can't bump their defense or their attacks if they're within 4 of Mern.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a butterfly option.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What other options are you looking at? Like Death Metal Wonder Woman?
For
I'm
butterfly,
assuming. Yeah.
it's for me so far it's been Cosmo, Ace, Legacy Ace.
Mhm.
Because you play Legacy Ace and then you can start outwitting like Safeguard outwits.
Yeah. So like Kong and a couple of other pieces.
And then Mern, I think, is a third option. But you also keep in mind that with Black Lanterns, you're using up your sideline slots for the gods.
Yeah.
So, what other gods are you playing besides the Hippo? Are you playing Conchi for the prop? I feel
Yeah,
like the Steel Energy. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Steel Energy isn't that necessary because they already have Steel Energy.
Poison's nice. I mean, the thing is, they're free, right? That's what makes.
Oh, they do all that
That's
heroin,
fair.
I suppose. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
I was thinking Khonshu on Swamp Thing, but also Chthon on Swamp Thing because a lot of his movements can just be free placement.
Yes.
And then when he does hit, he's healing.
He has a still energy anyway, right?
Do Black Lanterns have a TK, or do you need to outsource that to a
Would
monster?
be Black Hand, but he sucks, so you don't play it.
Yeah, you don't play Black Hand.
Shocker, I've been playing my Timebreaker Pog.
That's fair. That's fair.
Why would you do something so bold yet so controversial?
I
I
know.
keep forgetting about Timebreaker Pog.
Why? Because you don't have
There's
one.
definitely some idea there for Black Lanterns.
Well, I know
I don't even think
Andrew.
it depends on what team
Andrew
Mern's on, right?
That's it at the Jesse's store championship.
I saw that.
Oh,
Someone was playing Black
did you get the
Lanterns.
results in for that?
I didn't get results, so I wasn't able to attend, so I don't know. There were like 18 people who showed though, so
There's a decent
I'm really
amount, yeah.
curious to see who played.
His last game, I think he had a bye round, and then his last game went off to a rollout. So I guess he played 3 games.
But he said Richard beat him in the rollout because they tied. But then the post said that Brandon Cruz won.
Correct. Yeah.
So I
Wonder what he was playing.
I saw regular Swamp Thing, so not the prime version of this guy.
Got you.
So maybe something to do with the Ivies. I want to say
swap
man.
again, Jeff. Just press enter. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the Ivy, and then there's a man thing that does plant terrain markers.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But there was a
Okay.
gimmick around this guy.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what the teams were. So it was modern, right?
Yeah, first one on the West Coast, right? That's like post rotation.
I
Like the
know.
first big one for sure. Yeah.
Jesse, you got to share the teams, buddy. We want to know.
From the photos, a lot like the teams look pretty interesting. I know Kong and Colossus made an appearance, but they also
Kong and Colossus were played.
they didn't top.
Something I found interesting is I didn't see a lot of the MOT Colossals. Like I saw 0 Flash Raptors. Maybe that's because people just didn't have them. But I saw like one Aquanix and 1 Green Torch, and I didn't really see anything else.
Interesting.
What do you guys think about Supergirl? I think it was mentioned earlier, like the ability to shoot through barrier is very strong. It feels like she is. I don't know what the rest of the team would look like, but she seems like she's pretty close.
So she's a fantastic pulp figure just to start off with. If you like pulp, she's one of your gal pals to go through. The fact that she supports your entire team, that when they get hit after resolutions, if she didn't do so already, she can heal them, is even better. I mean, she meets your 12 attack, right, that we're looking for to hit the 19s, right? She does 4 damage, and she has a 3 range when doing so.
1 hyper, yeah.
With hypersonic speed, and I think she has a stop click. Why not?
And she's cosmic.
Yeah.
I mean, she sees for literally everything,
she sees through everything.
Correct.
Yeah.
Is it worth giving her a cycle to give her like running shot, maybe?
Not a bad choice.
Yeah, I feel like you
squares.
could do something different than running shot. Like
super senses.
How good is super senses? Because you already have the hyper, so just increased movement is fine.
You have a charge super senses, and then +2 movement, so you have 9.
So she has 9 hypersonic speed with super senses.
The running shot's a good option because if they do run traffic barrel, because she can't hypo punch the wall.
But she just shoots through it. She shoots through one
But if you're playing the traffic barrel.
I'm sorry. Yep. Your brain fart there.
It didn't rotate, did it?
No.
She can also hypo pick up a barrier if they're not playing Jefferson. So she can get through 2 layers by herself, theoretically.
She can. And she has defensive mechanisms. She's great.
It's great. You play her with stop click characters. I mean, they keep healing above their stop clicks.
Yeah.
It's like everyone has a soul sword. Everyone friends.
Now, do you
that's Wonder Woman's probably good.
Do you combat that up with the Chase Groot in the mud bath?
Oh,
I don't know what that piece does.
there he is.
You mean the figure that people were turning in?
The second trait.
Give this guy some defend.
Yeah, right.
When a friendly character occupies water, get to heal an additional click if they're in water terrain. That's pretty dope. It's a fun little combo.
A couple of the rock maps. Yeah, it's good on Atlantis' throne room.
The Groots are really good.
They are. I remember talking to Joe Alves, and he was really excited about them. We were going back and forth on whether or not to play them because you can, you basically can get full map reach. Because what was it? There's one that warps into hindering. Which one is that?
Macho Man? I don't think it's Macho Man Groot.
I think it's the rare. Yeah.
You said he was hindering?
Yeah.
This one.
Within 8 squares.
But it's also not once per turn.
Yeah, just go.
So you could just keep dropping 3 markers, and he just gets across the map, and then he swaps into, the Macho Man Groot or whatever, and starts doing some work.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
So, and I think there's more rival now that the sideline space is open. its sideline space is used up by the avatars, but with
Yeah.
MOE gone, with Mad Jim gone, sideline's a lot more open now.
Until
most
Panther
people
set.
Most people aren't going to play 3 gods, right? Nicholas.
No, not at all.
No, they'll play 6 because you have Poseidon that's out, and then everything that comes out in Panther.
Yeah, so that may all change. Yeah.
True. Well, speaking of Panther, it comes out at the end of a month from today, October 30th. So hopefully we'll get some videos soon. Clay, you've already done a great job of getting some of the
I
stuff
was
up.
hoping we'd see something today, but didn't. So
Come on, Scott Porter, where are you doing? What you doing?
Honestly, yeah.
But I don't know. Is there anything else you guys can think of for
they
Modern?
mentioned that there's no pre-release, or that the pre-release is supposed to be combined with the
Yeah, pre-release is combined with release day event stuff. So
It still is pretty quick after the official release of Masters of Time. So
Most of the time.
yeah,
I'm curious to see if they're actually going to get Collector's Trove out by the end of the year.
it would be less than a 2-month drop. It'd have to be before the end
It'd
of the
probably be
year.
around Christmas
You know,
time.
but remember, Batman Team Up came out like the week of Christmas.
It
It's
did.
true.
So I never thought there would be a HeroClix set released that week, and then they did. So
Because they're trying to get 2 sets out before Champion clicks, right?
seems
Maybe.
like it.
But I'm sure they also want to get the product out of the warehouse for the physical year so that their numbers look a little better. Otherwise, they had a bunch of product produced and they didn't sell it,
Yeah.
which I'm sure doesn't look good in the books. Maybe I'm wrong. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited for Black Panther, but I honestly, I'm very much more excited for a Collector's Trove with all those objects.
Yeah, that's the set I'm really looking forward to.
I'm hoping that WizKids sells us that Thanos stand that we got to see at Worlds. That would be
I'm also
awesome.
looking forward to the rest of the D&D iconics. I don't know if anyone else is looking forward to those.
Yeah,
Yes.
buddy.
There's so much stuff that was supposed to come out like last month that didn't.
I thought
mean-
all the D&D iconics were slated for this year, but I guess not.
They were. It was like November, December, and I think January.
I mean, and then on top of that, there's some, there's got to be like 10 con LEs that are all numbered this year, and
Where's
Kanto?
my
Most of them we
Kanto?
don't know
Yeah,
about.
exactly. Where Kanto?
Yeah,
And
then
Kanto
we saw
was
the
best support
we saw the
person in
weirdest
game.
preview ever. We got the weirdest preview ever this week.
Yeah.
Where it was like a card for Black Adam. in the
Oh,
raw
that's right.
box.
Yes, that's funny.
So this is all the stuff we're supposed to get. We're supposed to get in October. We're getting the Marvel Bag of Wolvies, the first appearance of Spider-Man, Wild West OP. So the DC starter, the Eye of the Beholder is supposed to drop next month. Superman Up Away, Bag of Joker comes with the DC starter.
Nice.
The X-Men High Roller monthly OP. This the Bag of Wolvies should come with the Marvel starter. Black Panther release day OP kit, Black Panther play at home kit number 2, which is probably the one from online. You can get online. Beetlejuice I skipped. And retail chase boosters are back. The play at home kit here and the booster bricks. It's all slotted for December or October. How much do you think that's actually going to come out?
Yeah,
Well,
right.
considering that only the Black Panther sets have official dates released and the other ones are just estimated months, I wouldn't be surprised to see at least a couple of those things get pushed back into November.
Yeah, they have Collector's Trove slotted for December.
Go to August.
Owlbear
Or sorry,
December.
September. Go to September.
Just Cap.
Okay.
Just can't.
Which
We haven't seen him.
isn't, yeah, which
we
is
haven't.
now.
We know the dial, but he's not released yet.
Womp womp.
And then see August, see what else is late.
The
Looks like
story,
all that
yeah, the
stuff is-
Deadpool's
Yeah.
a month
So-
late because that didn't come out until like
So
this month,
is
right?
all,
Well,
this
look,
is all fairly up to date.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild, right? So yeah, everything seems, dude, it's gonna be a busy October. Hope you guys put in that OT.
It's gonna be a busy rest of the year, right? Because we have a set
Mhm.
dropping in October, theoretically a set dropping in December as well. Not to mention a
Bunch of
lot of
iconics.
iconics, starters. There's a lot of stuff coming out towards the end of the year.
Yup. Should be fun. Always good with more clicks.
Yet we still don't have our zombie George Washingtons.
I've heard people are making them.
They
That's
are.
right. I heard that.
They're shipping, right? So that's a good thing.
But
I haven't
where
checked my
is-
tracking.
Where's my monster set? It hasn't been introduced for 5 years. That obviously has collected so much dust on it. Where's my George Washington?
That is fair. Let's see. Let's see if my tracking got updated. Oh, it says it was fulfilled. Interesting. Dope. Where's my tracking? I have a label and it says expect to deliver the 2nd. All right. I might even get it tomorrow. It's actually in Oakland right now.
Let's go pick it up.
That'd be dope. Cool. So I have coming 3 multiple man play at home kits. Dinosaur hatchling. Well, I guess until next time, friends. Anything else? Don't forget to practice rolling your dice, guys. Take it easy.
Bye,
Good night.
everyone.
Good night.